Shocking moment: violent gang beats a man with bricks and a rock in terrifying daylight attack. A shocking clip has emerged of a violent attack which ends in a group of men beating one man with bricks in broad daylight. During the horrific altercation, filmed on a residential street in Alum Rock, Birmingham, a man is punched and brutally smashed over his head with a brick 6 times. The incident took place around 6 p.m. on Anthony Road, Alum Rock on Friday, June 8. Police were called to the scene but no arrests were made. The video appears to have filmed by a resident on the street. The clip begins by showing a man in a white tracksuit arguing with a bearded man wearing a black hoodie. As the pair argue, 2 males in white clothing try to restrain the man in the white tracksuit. Meanwhile, 2 men in dark green clothing attempt to hold the male in the black hoodie back from fighting. Somebody can be heard trying to break the argument and says, "Let's go home, bruv." The video then cuts to show one of the men in darker green clothing grab a brick as the bearded man tries to restrain him. He forcibly smashes it into the Volvo car that is parked in the middle of the street so that the front window breaks. The bearded man rebukes the act, saying, "What was that?" But as he speaks, his friend in a dark green jumper menacingly picks up a brick from the ground too and walks with him. The footage then cuts again to show the white tracksuit-wearing man standing behind the parked Volvo car and shouting at the bearded male in the black hoodie again. The bearded male furiously walks over to the man in the white tracksuit, whilst his friends can be heard pleading, "Just go home." However, the white tracksuit-wearing man taunts the bearded male to fight him and tries to kick him. But as he does so, the bearded male forcibly hurls a brick straight at his head. The pair then wrestle with each other manically. One of the men manages to briefly break the bearded male and the man in the tracksuit apart. But then shockingly, the bearded man's friend suddenly appears out of nowhere and smashes a brick into the tracksuit-wearing man's head. He violently slams the brick into his head twice as the tracksuit-wearing man holds his head in agony. Following this, the bearded male joins in and smashes his brick into the tracksuit-wearing man's back twice. On his second blow, the brick crashes into the ground. But the bearded male picks it up again. The tracksuit-wearing man's friend begs him not to throw the brick. But nonetheless, the bearded man hurls it straight at his head, as the victim yells, "Why?" in pain. Then the bearded man's friend begins punching the tracksuit-wearing male in the head. But the group of men manage to tear the fighting pair apart and the males separate on the street. One of the men can be heard yelling, "FK off. Come on, get out. Get the FK away," as the brawl quietens down. The clip ends with a view of the empty street. West Midlands Police said they received a call about a fight in Anthony Road, Alum Rock at 6:55 p.m. on 8 June. A spokesman said, "Everyone had left the scene by the time the call was made and there were no reports of any injuries."